Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video is sponsored by Vevor. Vevor went ahead and sent me this ultrasonic cleaner. I've always been wanting one of these. I heard about these things almost this year, early this year. I didn't even know about them, but I'm like, what the heck is a ultrasonic cleaner? So if you guys don't know what it is, it's kind of a chemical reactions, something like that. You guys can research into it and use ultrasonic noise and stuff like that to clean stuff. You basically have to add water and then you add some kind of detergent, degreaser. For this purpose, we're going to use the Simple Green. Very simple, very easy to get. So this is their 6 liter. 6 liter comes already installed, everything prepared. Comes with the lid, has a cord, has a little basket, and then has a little strainer right here where you can put, like, let's say you have like small earrings or stuff like that, or small screws that's gonna go through these little holes right here. You can put it in here. I'm most likely not gonna be using this. Now, just by looking at this 6 liter, it is pretty small, guys. It's pretty small, and for me, I'm gonna be using it for automotive purpose. So, car parts, car metals, metal pieces, steel, aluminum, nuts and bolts. So since this one is pretty small, most of the time I'm gonna be using this for like brackets, anything that's about the size of my hand, or like nuts and bolts and stuff like that. Now, when I do my engine rebuilds, I love to have all my nuts and bolts clean, degrease, and wire brush. And what I've done in the past is I usually just wire brush them and then just spray them down with a little quick brake cleaner and then dry them out. Or in the past, I have used gasoline, which is very dangerous and it's just very dirty. This red piece here is your drain hose, so when you're done with it, you can just open the valve and drain it. And this little tube that they come with, it has a threaded piece right here. I believe this is supposed to go right here, but this thread fitting doesn't even thread into here. It's not the right thread, so it wouldn't make sense. So I'm gonna have to go find the right thread so that I can connect this, and then I can just have this drain into like a 5-gallon pail bucket and dump the old stuff out. So that's what it comes with, just this piece right here. This piece right here that I most likely won't be using, but I'll hold on to it just for the heck of it. And then it has a little net right here. So all your controls is right here. Your control is for your temperature. I don't know what temperature I'm gonna set it to, but it has a heater, and then how long you want the ultrasonic to run, your time. And if you guys read the manual book, to do a little quick reading before you guys do anything, on the manual book, they say you shouldn't run this for no more than an hour. So I believe after an hour, you need to let it rest or something like that. So we're gonna run this to 1 hour and see how well it cleans. And then on the back of this, you have your plug, which is removable, and then you have it on/off. So that's on. But you also don't want to run this when it's empty. So you have to run this with water in there or some kind of chemical in there. You can't run it bare. So we're going to be using hot water, and we're going to clean 3 pieces of parts, and I want to see if it really makes a difference. Now, let me get up close so you guys can see the big difference. These right here are some transmission brackets. If you guys are Toyota, you guys know what these are. These are the bell housing brackets, and right now they're all crusty and oily. I'm not even going to go ahead and clean them. I can probably help it a little bit and, you know, brush it off, but I want to see how clean this can get. How clean can it do? And if it does really good with it, I might have to have Vevor send me the big one so we can use the bigger one to clean bigger parts. Now, they do have the bigger one. I believe it's like a 16 liter or something like that, but it's about almost 2 or 3 times bigger than the one we have now. The other part that I have is a flange. This is a IFS flange. It's a bit greasy. It's a bit greasy, dirty. And it also still has the gasket. You see the gasket behind it? The gasket is still peeled on there. So I want to see if the ultrasonic can remove this gasket. You know, it's pretty tough in there right now. You guys can see. I'll remove a little bit. But for the most part, I don't think it's going to be able to remove the gasket. But I want to see how well it can clean it, and also inside the flange. So take a look at that, and then we'll come back and look at the difference. So let's go ahead and do this. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is, you always want to put your parts in here first before you add your water, because if you add water in here and you fill it to the top and then you add stuff in it, it's going to overflow. Common sense, right? So we're going to go ahead and put the parts in here. And you also want to make sure the parts has enough spacing. You don't want to stack too much parts all together at once. So that's the reason why we're just doing these 3 big parts first, just to see how they go. Now, I don't know what the ratio I'm supposed to use, like how much water per ratio, but I'm just gonna go ahead and add, this is some tap water, some hot tap water. You can start with cold water, but I started with some hot water just to get it going first. Oh, it's pouring everywhere, shoot. I need to get a little bit more water, so I'll be right back. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and turn it on. We'll turn it on. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it on. This is the heater right here, so right now it's on. And we're gonna set the temperature. So this is the actual temperature right now, which is 36 Celsius or degrees. And we wanna set it, I'm gonna set it to the max. I wanna see how high we can get this temperature to. Or let's set it to the max. So 80 is the max. So we'll go ahead and set it to the max, and then I'll start the ultrasonic in a bit. Let me go get some more water and we'll start this again. All right, so you guys can see we're gonna add water just almost to the brim, at the top of the brim. Perfect. Water's spilling everywhere, shoot. So now that we have the water in here, let's go ahead and add some simple green. I don't know how much I should add, but now we're just gonna wing it, you know? So let's just go ahead and pour some simple green. Oh yeah, nice and clean, nice and green. All right, so now it's doing its thing. Now let's go ahead and set the ultrasonic. So let's go ahead and do the time. So now we want to turn on the ultrasonic on. So 30 minutes is the max. Is that true? All right, guys, so 30 minutes is the max. So that's the most we can do. So let's see what it can do in 30 minutes. If it doesn't clean it good in 30 minutes, we'll let it rest for about another 30 minutes and then we'll run another session to it. So let's go ahead and set it up. So right now we're running full temperature, 30 degrees. Currently it's at 37, and then we'll go ahead and turn on the ultrasonic. The ultrasonic is loud. You guys heard that buzzing noise. That's what it does. And then you also want to keep the lid closed. So let's go ahead and do it. You're basically just boiling these parts, but again, it's doing some magic in there. So let's go ahead and start it and we'll come back to this. We got a couple seconds left on the ultrasonic. It's been running for 30 minutes. Outside nice and warm, not super hot, but definitely be careful. Oh, there it is. So we did 30 minutes. I'm gonna keep the heater on. The heater you can leave on as long as you want until you get to the temperature that you want it to, I believe. So far we have only reached 56 degrees. So maybe if you have some really dirty stuff, some really greasy stuff, you might want to let the heater turn on for about an hour or 2 hours and get it really hot before you start the ultrasonic. But let's go ahead and see how well it cleans for 30 minutes. See if I can, let me touch it real quick. It's not super hot, guys. It's very warm, but still definitely a little bit hot. Okay, so it's still dirty. It's still a little bit dirty. Let's take it out real quick so you guys can see. Oh, actually, it cleaned a little bit right here, guys. It cleaned a little bit. There's still some more right here. And there's still some more over here, so I'll show you guys. So you guys can see it's clean up here. And we still got some dirt right here. This is where it really builds up. And then on the back side, you can see it definitely cleaned it. And you can still see it needs a little bit more clean right there, right where I just scraped off. So let's go ahead and run it one more time. And let's take a look at the other one. I kind of wish that you can do 45 minutes or 1 hour instead of having a 30-minute max. So you can see right here, it's all nice and clean right here. But then we got some grease right here. And again, I can scrape this grease off. And then there's lots of grease right here. You guys see that? And right here. So we're gonna leave this on, and this hole right here is supposed to go through. and you can see it's not through yet. There's still dirt stuck inside of it. Same thing with that hole right there. So we're gonna keep running it. The flange looks good, guys. The flange got definitely cleaner around here. You can still see some grease right here, right where I scraped it. So I think we need to run it one more time. I think the temperature is not fully hot yet. I want it 80 degrees. It's not gonna remove the gasket for sure, I think, but I can peel this gasket out now. A little bit more easier if I wanted to. And if I really want to get this gasket clean, nice and clean, I'm gonna have to wire brush it. But this is just for a demo, so it's not gonna remove the gasket. We know that for sure. It's definitely a little bit cleaner. There's still some residue right there. So we'll throw all three of these back into the Sonic cleaner and see how it does for another session, another 30-minute session. Temperature is still at 56 degrees. I wonder if it's gonna get any more hotter. Let's go ahead and run it one more time. 30 minutes is the max. So we did 2 sessions, round 2 just finished. Temperature right now is at 73 degrees Fahrenheit. We set it to 80 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the temperature on, and then we'll go ahead and check it out. We'll see how clean it is. Halfway through this, I did went ahead and throw some dirty coins into it, and I think this will be good for cleaning pennies and coins and stuff like that too. So it's probably much more hotter now. So gotta be very careful. Whoa, look at that. I think you do a few squish. Look at that. And again, it's dirty. So it is a bit hot, so make sure you wear some latex gloves, something that's more thicker than these little 6mm gloves. Good. Alright, so let's take a look at the flange. Oh, it's kind of hot, guys. Just gotta be careful. Yeah, this is definitely hot. You don't want to hold this too long. So this did a good job of cleaning. It's even peeling the paint right now. You guys see the paint? The inside of the flange is super clean. The back side is super clean. It wasn't able to pull out the gasket, but overall, look at this piece right here. Woo, this thing is hot, guys. Hot, hot, hot. And take a look at this piece here. It did a good job, but it's still dirty. You can still see all the dirt right there. This stuff here. Now, like I said, in my past, the way I have cleaned these dirty parts was through gasoline. I have a big aluminum pot. I fill it up with gasoline and then I just brush it off. I know right away gasoline would have taken this off within seconds, and you don't even have to warm up gasoline or use any kind of heat. So gasoline definitely cleans this better, but it's a bit more dangerous. You gotta dispose it and you have to do more hands-on, whereas this machine right here, you can just set it up and go from there. Now, is this usable? Like if I want to install this the way it is right now, do I have to clean it up more? Absolutely not. If I wanted to install this right now, I can install it just like this. Even with a little bit of residue, everything else is still really clean. And this one here was the dirty one. So you can still see all that dirt right there that's building up. So it's not gonna be able to take that out yet unless you give it some kind of help. But this machine has been pretty impressive. We've only done 2 rounds, and I bet you if I was to do another round, it might take off more. But so far, guys, I am impressed. I love it. I want to see how good it does nuts and bolts. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my box of spare nuts and bolts and throw them in there, because I know they're greasy and such. So let's go ahead and take a look at some nuts and bolts and see how it does for hardware. But for our big parts, it does pretty damn good. These were some of the random coins that I threw in there. They're kind of clean already, so I don't have to do anything to them. I'll go ahead and remove these coins. Alright guys, so I have some miscellaneous bolts. These are all the hardware from my solid axle part. They contain all the important nuts and bolts. These are all hardware that you would reuse, and they're oily. They're really oily, so you guys see these parts, you guys know what these are. We're gonna go ahead and clean these. These are parts, these parts are parts that you should always clean before you install them back on. You know, they're all greasy and stuff like that. A lot of people don't ever wash this stuff or clean them. They just install it the way they are. These are all the cone washer for the knuckles and all that stuff. So you guys know what these are. Always clean them. And let's see if these are, oh, okay, so they're perfect. These little 10mm, they won't go through the this bucket, this basket here. So all of these hardware are just your solid axle parts, nuts, bolts, the manual hubs, hardware and stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and clean everything so that in the future, when it's time to assemble the solid axle, it'll be all nice and clean. This is off the 85 solid axle. We'll go ahead and give it a new bag once it's clean. I just hope nothing falls out, but I think it should be good. So that's it right there. Let's go ahead and give it 30 minutes. All right, so for this right here, we are currently at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. I have not added any more simple green into here. We're just gonna keep it the way it is and go from there. I have not changed out the water too as well. So we'll just leave everything the way it is and see how clean it is. If it cleans it good, that means that if we were to put new water and new detergent, it will clean it even better. So let's go ahead and give it a try. 30 minutes on it. Alright guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this video soon. So far we've done 3 sessions, an hour and a half, and we finally got up to 80 degrees. So if you want to get up to 80 degrees, you want to at least warm this up for about an hour and a half before you start doing the ultrasonic. But it's up to you. In the manual book, they didn't tell you how long you should let this rest before doing another session. We just went back to back on them. We probably gave like maybe a couple minutes between each session only, but that's about it. So it's finishing up right now. $80 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure you have some thick gloves. Woo! I'm gonna go ahead and kill the machine because I'm not gonna use it anymore. And let's check out this stuff here. I might have to use this towel thingy. It's definitely hot. Oh yeah. If you're handling this, you want to have the proper gloves, some more thicker latex. But let's just do this really quick. Oh, it's hot. Whoa. Woo, careful, baby. So it is definitely steaming hot. It definitely cleaned it. It needs a little bit more cleaning though. I can tell. Yeah, it did a good job getting to it, but there's so much nuts and bolts stacked within each other, and that might be affecting it. It definitely needs another round of cleaning, but I'm not gonna do it right now. Yeah, so all of the grease and stuff like that's coming off right now if I was to wipe it down, but it's still dirty. Yeah, these nuts and bolts, they're still dirty. They're not fully clean yet. Like I said, if I was to do my method, the old way of doing it, and if I was to put this through gasoline, I know the gasoline will eat this grease up really fast. So it's definitely working, but it's not working the best. And again, this wasn't really a fair trial for the nuts and bolts because it already the nuts and bolt went in through 2 sessions already, so it didn't have clean detergent to work with. So I might leave this. I might leave this as is, and then later on tonight I might fill this up with new water, new detergent, let it warm up for at least an hour, and then I might run the ultrasonic to it. So that's gonna be a wrap for this video. I hope you guys enjoy. So far, I'm loving it. I'm really impressed with it. I'm excited to use this in the shop here, and like I say, the main purpose of this ultrasonic will be for cleaning these hardware, these nuts and stuff like that before they go back onto these engine. If there's any car parts that I can fit in here, I'll do my best to get it in here and get it clean. But for the most part, I will definitely need something bigger. Whenever I'm cleaning big stuff like valve covers or intake manifold, My way of doing it is spraying it with degreaser and then just going crazy with the pressure washer and just pressure wash as much as possible. I also started using the oven bake cleaner, and that stuff works really good on the valve covers and anything that's like greasy. But I'm really excited to try this out. If you guys have used the Ultrasonic before, let me know if you guys have a better detergent that you guys are using. Like I said, for today's video, we're using the Simple Green. I might change over and start use like a Super Purple or Purple Power degreaser. And I also have some of the Super Clean. I like to use Super Clean with degreaser, which is a purple bottle. And then there's like the other super crazy degreaser. So I might try some of those stuff, because I know those are a little bit more of a heavy detergent. So hope you guys like this video. I'll keep you guys updated as I use this more in the shop and let you guys know how it goes. Thanks for watching.